It is Miss Prashanta here. Thank you all so much for tuning into my podcast. Today, we'll be talking to Dr. Jackie Walters, who I absolutely adore. She is one of the best doctors ever. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I first would like to say thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with me. I really appreciate that so much.
Thank you so much for asking.
No problem. Now, you are one of the best doctors out there. I would love to know what made you want to practice medicine, and more specifically, as an OBGYN.
So I came from a small town in Mississippi, and actually a little small town called Fayette, Mississippi. And truly growing up, I don't think I ever saw a doctor who looked like me when I was small, meaning I didn't see many African-American doctors. Of course, as I got older, I saw more, but not really that many in a small town. And my cousin married a man who went to Meharry. And when I first went to Meharry to see a medical school that had predominantly all African-American doctors, sent a light bulb like, hey, I can do this. Mm-hmm. And so from there, I went to college and I met other people. And I actually didn't even enter college going into pre-med because I was still very nervous about it. But I went into pre-med after seeing that there were other college students who had to struggle as well. So long story short, didn't know that it was attainable coming from a small town in Mississippi. Once I saw other physicians that looked like me doing it, I'm like, wait, I can do this too. Mm-hmm. And specifically OB, when I grew up in the South, it was all, and my mom and everybody, it was almost like unheard of to say the word vagina and talk mm-hmm. about sex and talk about your period out loud. It was like it was a secret. I made it my goal and my passion to say I am going to grow up and educate women, particularly black women, on their bodies because, the body is precious. It's the only way that life is going to enter the earth is through the body of a woman. And so I wanted women to know that they're very important, their bodies are important, and understand their self-worth. And now with, social media, I want you to understand your self-worth and add mm-hmm. shipping and handling, taxes and surcharges because we as women really kind of, I don't want to say we create life because we don't. That comes from God. But I really do feel like without the body of a woman, there would be no life. Mm-hmm. And I just want women to know, don't be ashamed. We're not ashamed that we have a period. We're not ashamed that we talk about sex, and especially the word vagina. In the South or growing up in the black culture, we gave it every name except its right name. Mm-hmm. So we, the names we called them. Mm-hmm. And so I think I have definitely accomplished that goal in becoming an OBGYN who's educating women on their importance.
Mm-hmm. That is so amazing. And you have worked with tons of people like Toni Braxton, T.I., and Usher, and the list goes on. How did you do your celebrity clientele base, or how do you keep a healthy relationship with each client?
Oddly enough, I first met Trina Braxton because she lived close to my first office, my very first office, which was in Duluth, Georgia. After taking care of Trina, I then, of course, met Toni because she, I imagine, was impressed at the work I was doing with Trina. And, Toni is very particular about her body and her health, mm-hmm. her privacy. And so I believe from that was kind of the launching pad where other celebrities felt comfortable enough with my care and my ability to protect their privacy. From there, it just became one client after the other. And it's just in how do you keep a healthy relationship with them? I think, one, you have to make sure that there's a mutual respect for each person's importance and significance in the relationship, meaning, I have to remain the doctor. Mm-hmm. I have to, there's some things I'm going to have to say no to, and there's some things I'm not going to be able to do because I'm practicing medicine and I'm not practicing give you what you want. And mm-hmm. so I think as much as they may not like it, I think patients want you to be the doctor. So just maintain that mutual respect, and I respect them. I know that they're busy. I know that there's a certain amount of privacy that everybody, but especially celebrities, require. So I don't even announce who they are unless they do it first. And because I've got tons of other celebrity clientele who haven't mentioned that I'm their doctor, and so I don't even mention that they're my patient.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to, sometimes, I hate to say it, though, you have to break the rules. You know, they have to come through the back door, and you may have to see them on off hours, maybe early in the morning or late in the afternoon, just to protect their privacy. And I can clearly remember that with Toni, who had hyperemesis in her first pregnancy. And she was in my waiting room just throwing her whole life up. And there was a patient who said, when you finish, would you sign this? I was mortified that she couldn't come in and be a regular pregnant patient and enjoying her visit or getting care without somebody. So you have to know when to break the rules for them.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally understand. That is very understandable because everyone deserves their privacy. So yes, I do understand that completely. Now, I kind of want to jump into Married to Medicine, which I am so excited to see again. Now, I also want to ask you, in regards to that show, what about being a cast member on Married to Medicine interested you the most?
Now, crazy enough, Dr. Simone was first approached by, I believe, Mariah, and Simone and I are best buddies in partners in crime, really. But Simone, if I would do the show, because I think they were trying to get different personalities for the show, and I first was very reluctant, and we all heard or saw bad reality has a bad rap. Start with that. And, of course, I thought the same thing, like I don't ever want to be on a reality TV show. There's nothing but bad stuff. Long story short, I did audition or cast, I should say, for the show and was selected, but initially said no. But after Simone twisted my arm and held me to the wall, I had to say yes. And believe it or not, my first scene on the show, I realized, okay, this isn't for me, because I thought I was going to be that little mentor person who would come in and talk to women because they're married to doctors, and I figured I'm a woman, I'm a doctor, so I can help them understand the lifestyle of their husband. Well, we know that's not what the show's all about. And so I wanted to quit. I mean, I'm like, okay, but you have to be reminded you signed a contractual agreement. And so you don't just get to walk away from a contractual agreement. So I was reminded that I had that, so I stayed on the show. But after I stayed on the show, now being a cast member on a reality TV show, particularly Married to Medicine, what interests me the most is that I get a platform. I get an opportunity to bring awareness to breast cancer, fitness, Alzheimer's, infertility, the lifestyle of a doctor with the white coat on, and the lifestyle of a doctor when the white coat goes off. It gives me an opportunity to have a voice in places that I probably would not have had it without Married to Medicine.
That is awesome. That also brings me to my next question. You are definitely doing a lot of positive things out here, and I really love that. And I think we all can appreciate that. You have your lifestyle program, Fit is the New It. Can you tell us about that and what can people look forward to when signing up?
Now, I created Fit Me, I call it, or Fit is the New It, because I had an encounter with Dr. Heavenly on season 2 of Married to Medicine. Believe it or not, it helped me realize that I needed to make sure that my delivery was clear. What I wanted to say, and I didn't get that across clear enough, but my focus really is on the whole person and not just the body image, not the first thing you see. So I totally wanted that young lady on season 2, but I wanted everybody to understand that body image is certainly important because that is the first thing people see, and unfortunately we are judged by it. But what I wanted people to know that being fit is being whole, being complete in your mind, your body, and your spirit. And that trilogy brings about fitness, because fitness leads to a healthier and a happier lifestyle. And we've seen other celebrities who said, I'm comfortable being overweight, but as soon as they lose weight, oh my God. So again, fitness is not about weight. Fitness is about being fit, and I think fit is that trilogy, being complete in your mind, because you can be healthy and a size 6 and walking around going to church every day, but if your mind is broken, if you're depressed and if you're sad, you're still not fit, or vice versa. If you're, exercising and you're happy, but spiritually you have no resource or anybody you can run to or pray to, then you're still missing something. So fitness, again, is about a complete package, mind, body, and spirit.
That is awesome. Now, in your opinion, what are some mistakes people make when working out, and what are some, fun exercises people can do at home? I know for me, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right workouts, and so I feel like there are other people out there who may feel like the same way. What can we do at home that's fun and, and something that we can do to help our bodies?
Well, I'm going to take you back to the end of that question that you asked me, because I want to answer that, and then this will take me right into it. So fitness, again, is that overall lifestyle program. But I think a lot of people feel, I got to go to the gym. If I don't go to the gym, I'm not really working out. So that's why this year on Married to Medicine and with the fitness program, you'll see that we introduce some other stuff that will give you a lasting impact, that you can just change your whole life with not just changing the way you exercise, but the way you eat and the way you think about food. And so the mistake that I think people make is, one, they don't have a plan. January 2, everybody goes to the gym and they just get on instruments and they start doing stuff, or they hire a trainer and they just want to see weight loss and they don't really have a plan. So I think you have to get a plan. What am I trying to achieve? Am I trying to achieve weight loss, or am I toning up? Is it endurance I want? You got to set a goal. So the first and foremost is have a plan as to, what am I trying? What's the end point? And knowing what the end point is, you can develop a plan based on that. Secondly, I think people fail to remember that they don't have to overdo it to get to that goal. You know how we feel like I got to go to the gym every day, 5 times a week, or 7 days a week. I got to stay 2 hours. I got to work out on every instrument in the gym. And I got to do 50 of them to get it there. You don't have to do that extreme, Don't eat any carbs, and if I don't have this cute outfit on, I can't go today. You have to develop a plan, and you got to understand what you're trying to do. Now, there's so much on YouTube now. There are so many fitness gurus and trainers on Instagram, that you can just look at that and get it for free almost. And so knowing exactly what body parts you're trying to work out and just start out small. Do 10. If you can't do 10, do 5, but just stay consistent. Consistency is going to be the key. You've got to prepare. You got to stay committed. You got to stay consistent. And you have to be vulnerable enough to know sometimes I just may fail. I didn't have a good week. I didn't eat right. I didn't exercise. But the program isn't over. Your lifestyle isn't done because you had a bad week. You just pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you get back there. And just remember, fitness is about sacrifice. You are going to have to make sacrifices. And again, start out with just something you may even see on. And that's why I try to post different workouts, because my trainer is really good about working certain body parts, whether we're doing our arms or we're doing our legs today, or whether we're doing total body. It's just get online and look at something somebody else do and do it in the simplest version you can do until you get it, and you'll start to see results. And take pictures. Pictures of yourself, front, back, side, first week, 6 weeks, 3 months, 9 months, and see if you're seeing a change. But you have to invest in being fit.
That is awesome. That is so true, too. That is very, very true. And also, being a doctor, what are some things that women sometimes overlook when it comes to their health that they really shouldn't?
I think that women have to realize that we are different than men. You got to understand that you are not a man. And so don't try to treat yourself as a man, but understand that we are physically and mentally different. And we tend to put our health on the back aisle. I say that we are mommingers and wifingers, and that we manage the husband and the children way more than we do ourselves. So remember to also put yourself in that lineup of taking care of things, meaning you almost have to put yourself first, because if you are no good, you're no good to anybody else. And then women tend to forget their preventive health. You have got to remember, it's almost like, and I say it often in my office, is you've got to take care of yourself like you would your car if you want it to last 10 years. You've got to do your pap smears done, get your mammograms done. You need to take the proper vitamins you need, folic acid, vitamin D. You've got to take care of yourself first. And remember, the leading cause of death in women, especially African-American women, is heart disease. And, and it's hard that we sometimes miss the warning signs. There are so many different signs in women that we don't see in men. Like, we expect a heart attack to be something sudden and intense where you fall out and you grab your chest and, you have a heart attack. It isn't. What it is those subtle signs. I felt some chest tightening. I felt some heaviness. I'm feeling extremely fatigued, and I don't know why. And we tend to ignore that and blow it off as I'm just busy. Lightheadedness, being nauseous, pain in your shoulder and your neck and your jaw, shortness of breath, sweating, a lot of things that we just think I'm a busy woman are those subtle signs that you may be having a heart attack or that you may have heart disease.
And you're always inspiring others and speaking on panels, and you really are inspiring. I hope you know that. And
thanks.
You're welcome. What piece of advice have you gotten in your life that has helped your career be so successful?
I think the one thing that resonates in my mind all the time is to treat every patient like you want somebody to treat your mother or your sister.
Oh, I love that. Mm-hmm.
Now, my mother is a tough cookie. I can only her in the doctor's office asking questions that you're thinking no, she didn't ask that. Or saying those things that you go, oh, my God, I'm so embarrassed. But I still want the doctor to treat her nice. I still want the doctor to entertain her, question, and educate her and take good care of her. So I try to treat every woman who walks in as my mother, my sister, my cousin, or my best friend. And even if it doesn't make sense, even if they're plucking that very last nerve, I still try to be very open and very honest and educate each person and treat them like I would treat my mother.
That is so awesome. And you have the 5th annual 50 Shades of Pink Foundation Gala and Fashion Show coming up. Yay! Can you tell us about that? Tell us all about it.
And of course, if you've watched the show, I had breast cancer twice in 2004 and 2008. And immediately after being diagnosed, it was just a burning passion in me to make sure that I gave back to women who had been diagnosed or who were diagnosed behind me. So I started giving out a basket of love, I called it, of things that I thought got me through the journey, whether it was blankets to help with the tightening in my chest, whether there were cute little bags because my drains fell from underneath my dress one time, fingernail polish to cover the dark nails with chemo, whether it's a custom design wig to your liking, whatever it is, I wanted to make sure that I gave back to those women. So we had a luncheon in 2012 where I invited probably about 100 women. And just to see those ladies connecting and strutting on the pink carpet and laughing and sharing was it was like an energy in the room that you can't even describe that I'm never, ever going to forget. So I'm I just want to see this in women. I mean, I want to have a group of women who we give to and we showcase their beauty, their inner and their outer beauty. So I needed to get something going, and I thought, my accountant helped me with this. You need a foundation. And so I created a foundation that I said it is going to take care of the inner and outer beauty of a woman. It's going to nurture her psychological and physical well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And because I think that this disease is the one disease that affects the outer and inner beauty. Like you lose your hair, you lose your breasts, the two things that define us as women physically. And emotionally, you are afraid. One, you think you're going to die. You are trying to still be a mother and take care of your kids and stay strong. Husbands, as much as they try to be all supportive, they still looking like, I need my wife. And so, again, 50 Shades of Pink nurtures the psychological and the physical well-being by taking care of the inner and outer beauty. The extravaganza that we have every year is like none other. It is a fashion show, basically, but it's a fashion extravaganza because we showcase women who are currently in the fight, have been in the fight. They are warriors who are helping other ladies who are going through the fight, but all of them are breast cancer survivors who are walking that pink runway, showcasing their inner and outer beauty. And so we use the local designers, and now we're actually using an out-of-town designer, I believe, this year, that they create a look, and you walk the runway. And my thing is always, you walk that runway, and you look at the end of the runway like you're telling breast cancer, look at me now. And so each year we do a theme. This year it's the Great Gatsby, and so we'll showcase, inner and outer beauty using the Great Gatsby theme. But just helping other people know that, I've been through the fight, but I don't have to look like it and act like it.
Right.
Oddly enough, this year, there will be 3 women walking the runway who sat in the audience last year as an attendant. I'm attending and I'm watching. And this year, they're actually breast cancer survivors.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. I really like that. I like the theme. I love the concept of everything you are doing. That is so amazing. That is so awesome.
It's our signature fundraiser. And we take the money and we create, my baskets of love. So if you call me up and say, hey, Dr. Jackie, my best friend got diagnosed with breast cancer, and we're getting a little better in that we want you to be able to custom design the basket and say, you know what, she's a size large in a robe, and she is not having surgery, but she's going to have radiation, so that we can give them the things that they need to help them with that. And believe it or not, we're trying to get it where other people can actually purchase a basket if they wanted to and send it to a breast cancer survivor in lieu of a flower or something else.
That is so awesome. And that is on October 14th, right?
October 14th.
Yes. That is awesome. And I have one last question, but I got on social media today, and I was like, oh, my gosh, she has a book out. I said, I have to ask you about her book first. Can you tell us about that really quickly?
I do. It's called Perfect Imperfection. And in the book, I do tell the story that one of my greatest concerns, and I don't like to use the word fear, but one of my greatest concerns was I had to take my clothes off after having a double mastectomy. And if you know anybody who's had a double mastectomy, it doesn't look like the normal breast. There are some scars. Some of us may not actually have our normal, natural, God-given nipples. And so I was totally concerned about that. And crazy enough, you know how that power of attraction. I walked into a boutique in Chicago with a cousin, and the owner of the boutique said, oh, my God, who messed up your implants like that? Oh, my God. I was so humiliated. But I knew he didn't mean it from a bad place.
Right.
And I didn't get offended. I just told him, I said, you know what? This is, I had a double mastectomy. I can't feel it. But I want you to feel. And he was just so apologetic and mortified that he had said something. And so I then remember having that fear or that concern of showing my breasts to other people. After working with other women who had been diagnosed with breast cancer, I started asking the questions, and we all had that same concern that, you got a funny-looking scar and the nipple may not be centrally placed. And so I created a book called Perfect Imperfection, showcasing women who had been in the fight, who had breast cancer. Now, a lot of them kind of backed out at the end and go, okay, don't show my nipple. Don't show my whole nipple. And so in the book, you'll see breasts. In some of them, they were very open with it and they showed it. But I included supporters. And the reason I included supporters is exactly what I was telling you about the fashion show, is 1 in 8 women in their lifetime will be diagnosed with breast cancer. So there are so many more women who are not diagnosed with breast cancer than who are, that I included supporters. And they were glad to take their tops off and show some part of their beauty, whether it's their back, it's their cleavage, whatever it is, whether it's legs, to say, I'm supporting a woman who has been through this, because we all have some perfect imperfection.
Oh, that is so awesome. You are so brave in everything you do, and I definitely feel like you are definitely touching people out here, touching people's lives, and making a change. That's what I really like that about you. I'm definitely going to support that. I think that's really cool. So awesome. And last but not least, and I know you're doing so much. How do you balance like your family, filming, your new book, and everything, and running a successful medical practice? Like, how do you balance out everything, and what can we expect next from you?
Well, since you asked, this is probably going to be the toughest season that I've had. And, it is I don't think I've really figured out how to balance it. I have learned how to cope with the fact that I've got a lot of things going on. And so I am still learning how to balance it. But what I have learned is I can seek counsel with others who can help me figure it all out, because I haven't figured it out. I certainly haven't figured, and you saw that last season, that to balance family and work and all the other philanthropy work that I'm trying to do sometimes gets the family a little upside down. And so, we will do some more talking about that this season. We will definitely showcase the Perfect Imperfection book and the reveal party. We talk a lot more about the fitness, and it's important, and show you that, fit me doesn't just belong in a gym. I'm going to introduce you to a group of ladies I call Dr. Jackie Millennials, who help me stay millennial and tell me what not to wear and what not to say and what not to do. But I'm being calm and collected as the mentor and mediator that you've seen in the past. But I will say you will see me in probably one of the most vulnerable spaces that I've ever been. But what you also will see is my triumph.
Well, I will definitely be tuned, and you guys make sure to check out Married to Medicine, Season 5, coming soon. And if you go on Dr. Jackie Waters' website, JackieMD.com, you can purchase her new book, and you can learn more about her 5th annual 50 Shades of Pink Foundation Gala and Fashion Show, and you can purchase your ticket to that as well. Please make sure to support this great cause. She is just so amazing. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Miss Prashanta.